Welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is Thursday, July 27th, 2017. Yesterday morning, Trump tweeted out a tweet that left us, because we had places to go, nail-biting on a cliffhanger. What did it say, Leah?
I'm sitting there on Twitter, I'm like, Michelle, this is so weird. What is this? After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow. Now, I had to leave. And he didn't tweet out the answer for like 10 minutes. And so literally I saw it in real time. I'm like, I gotta go. And so a couple hours later, I'm like, Michelle, we got the answer. And it's pretty funny. Okay, so he says, transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming, another tweet, victory, and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you. For those of you that do not know, the transgenders in the military, a lot of them would like the American taxpayer to pay for their sex changes. Okay, so our majors this is open and closed. Right now, there are only 250 openly serving transgenders in the military. Now,
you would admit it.
I don't know how they got in, because they wouldn't have been able to get in under any of these medical. They're not allowed in now.
I like the top one is the absence of one kidney. I mean, these are rigorous disqualifications.
Number one, you guys, if you feel like your mind is trapped in the wrong body, that is a medical condition.
I think for right now, for this episode, we're not going to even address whether it's real or not, or whether it's true, or whether you're right or whether you're wrong. You have to admit that by and large, 100% of the time, if you feel like you are the wrong gender in the wrong body, somewhere it got messed up.
Something is broken. You were either born disabled,
yeah,
or you have a disability.
With like every part of your body is wrong,
or it was created after 3 years of something. But
right,
you don't get to go into the military if you have diabetes, if you have one testicle.
Hang on, listen to this. If you have aphonia, which is the loss of a voice, if you can't speak, you can't be in the military.
There's all kinds, like anaphylaxis, if you get stung by diabetes, if you need shots all the time. Now, when there is a medical component to this, and there is a mental component to this.
Exactly.
100% of the people who are trans have a mental problem. You guys have to recognize this, that it is mentally taxing on an individual. I can't
imagine feeling like I was trapped. Y'all have seen the movies, right?
The trauma.
You've seen the movies.
We watch Star Trek all the time.
Where somehow some guy ends up in a lady's body, or some woman ends up in a man's body, and it is awful. I mean, that could not be easy, right?
But you don't get to go into the military if you're missing a leg. I'm sorry.
Right.
You and then get a surgery on top of it to replace your leg. Right? There are medical discharges for a lot of these things. Now, for some, you can get a waiver, but you can't get a waiver for a loss of one testicle as a male. One. So why would the military go and cut it off of you? Even if you felt like you shouldn't have a penis and a testicle, why would the military pay for you to cut it off?
Here's the thing, and
especially if there's actually no medical reason, but if you're having a mental issue, I really wanted to get to this. Now, here's the thing. Why is it that all the medical research seems to be surrounded on changing the body to fit the mind, rather than change the mind to fit the body? You'd think it'd be easier to fix the mind than to try to do all kinds of weird
Here's the thing, like I said, we're not going to really address whether it's right or whether it's wrong, but the fact of the matter is, you would think, and I'm going to pull this out of the sky.
If I felt like I was in your body.
Yeah.
Or you felt like I was in my body. Like I felt like I was
If I felt like you were in your body?
If I felt like I was in your body, or you felt like you were in mine, and I'm walking around, I'm like, I'm Leah, but I'm in your body. I'm like, I would have a mental problem. I have a mental issue, and I want somebody to change my mind back to my body.
My pie in the sky number is this. I would say that we all know that people have mental issues by and large across the board, right? We've got depression, anxiety, social anxiety disorder, things like that. So when you have people that feel like they are trapped in the wrong body, I'm going to guess at least 50% of them, it's a mental issue and they're not trapped in the wrong body. Okay, at least.
At least. Well,
so we have to have. But you're not allowed to address that issue.
They studied twins. in 2013 a large study and found that only 28% of identical twins had two trans twins.
Right.
So if it was in your DNA or your
Right.
mother's hormones, then you would 100%
Right.
both be trans.
Right.
So obviously, and then the other 28% actually could be attributed to outside
Influences.
since twins all have the same basic influence. Usually.
Exactly.
So
like we said, we're not going to address whether it's right or wrong, but the fact of the matter is that if you're trapped in the wrong body, there's a medical, whether it's mental, medical, or whatever, there's a problem going on. Cataracts?
Psoriasis. Chronic bowel disease, deafness in both ears.
If you're a diabetic.
Eating disorders, anorexia or bulimia.
Which that would be thinking that you a fat person when you ain't.
Now here's the thing, I'm going to join the military, right?
Yes, me too.
And I'm going to tell them, listen, I am a skinny person. I'm a really skinny person. So, but I'm trapped in the wrong body.
Right. So I want the military to pay for my lap band.
And it's on the liposuction. And while you're at it, you could do some nipping and tucking and stuff like that. Make me feel, and then I will feel like I'm in the right body.
Now, another thing is that these males that would like a sex change, they can get breast implants, right? So why can't the girls?
Why can't all
females go into there and be like, dude, I feel like I'm a girl with a giant chest trapped in a girl's body with a little chest, and I would like breast implants too.
Oh, breast implants for everyone. If you do for one, you have to do for all.
Yeah. I feel like these ridges, I'm trapped in a body that's got these ridges up here that don't belong. So I would like to have that taken care of too.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot that keep you from getting into the ADD. ADD can't get you in. If ADD can't get you in the military, then transgender.
All right. So there's another aspect of this. Now, when you're in school and they're all going to play, let's say, dodgeball or something like that, and you're the last kid picked, okay? But you still get to play because it's school.
Right.
Everybody gets to participate.
Everybody plays.
We played Pee-wee softball.
Everybody plays.
Everybody gets to play. No kid sits on the bench. I don't care how bad you are. You are in right field. You're in wherever they're going to put you where you can not hurt yourself. And you get out there, right? The military is not that. If you're in a wheelchair, and God bless you if you want to serve in the military, and I kind of actually agree, I think maybe you should be allowed, if they can give you a job, whatever, but you're not. You're not allowed in the military if you are in a wheelchair. They can't just open up a spot. Listen, I know you want to serve your country, and we're going to put you behind a desk so that you can say, you know, I am serving my country. That's, unfortunately, that's not the way that the
you're missing a
military
kidney, you can't even join the military.
works. Okay, so we don't have just this big blanket, let everybody in and we will find a spot for you. That's not what the military is. For better or for worse, that's not it.
Right. Exactly. This is a long list of people who would say, I want to be part of it. I was actually, when I looked up the whole missing a testicle thing, there was a lot of guys on there who were like, I was born without one, or one was injured, I'm healthy, and you're not allowed in. It's even, from what I've been reading, somebody might have gotten a waiver, but they were saying nobody gets a waiver for that.
Cancer. Oh my God.
Exactly. I mean, there's so much. I mean, and some, like I said, some of them are waiverable, but like high depression or even anorexia and bulimia, they're not waiverable. And so if you feel like you're trapped in the wrong body, that's not waiverable. That is a serious medical condition, and I'm not saying that you don't need help. I'm not saying, because somebody said, don't trans people deserve medical attention? Absolutely you deserve all the mental and physical medical attention that anybody else would get with any other mental and physical disability. Okay? So, like an anorexic person who is sick physically and mentally at the same time, you need that dual
But I
diagnosis.
also don't think that we should always jump straight to the conclusion that the body is the thing that's wrong. Okay, you guys know how Leah and I feel, but I will go halfway and say, listen, if it is the body sometimes, we have to at least admit that sometimes it's not the body,
There's a website dedicated to sex change regret. I'm bringing this up. You can Google it or whatever. There's so many people. If you Google,
it's really simple, sexchangeregret.com.
If you like Google it on YouTube, you can watch endless videos of people who have gone through sex change or had some hormones and regretted it, and then come back to accept the body. Somehow something flipped in their minds, right? And they're glad that some of them are glad they didn't have super surgeries.
Right.
And so if that's the case, if it is in the mind, then you can't be in the military because, as somebody said, you don't want somebody questioning. If you're questioning that you're even in the right body, how are you going to be able to question your commander's orders? Somebody said the army is meant to be lethal, to kill and to take people out, and you don't make your army less than lethal. You don't make your army weaker.
Well, hang on. Before you get to that, my point I want to make here is for guys that don't understand this, I know all women are going to be able to feel me on this, but our women viewership is not that high. But still, hormones are a very, very powerful thing for better or for worse. And when they are out of whack.
Come on, y'all been around females around that time of month. And so, I don't even want to be around myself.
If the body, a pregnant woman, whatever, going through menopause, when your hormones are out of balance, it makes you an unstable person. And so they're going to put people through a sex change. I would imagine, and I'm not a medical professional here, obviously, it would take years to find a balance that would be steady. So if you were going to go through a sex change, you wouldn't even be allowed to be back into the military for like 5 or 6 years before it was certain that you had your hormones the way that they should be.
Imagine being in that time of the month like all the time.
Right.
That would be evil to just have to put.
I thought you were going to do the Mrs. Doubtfire one first.
Okay, we do that one.
All right, so we want to go back a little bit in history.
Kids.
If you haven't seen Mrs. Doubtfire with Robin Williams, it is hilarious. Now, this is the 90s.
Right.
And at the time, you will notice that Sally Field, her and her husband split up. And her husband wants to be with his children. And he asked if he could be the babysitter. And she got full custody. She says no. And so he decides to pull out all the stops because she's going to hire a nanny. I'm going to be the nanny. But he's got to dress himself up as a different persona. In the movie, he chooses an old, like, grandma type woman, but he has to call in and pretend that he's all these different people for the interview. And this is what's happening here in this scenario in the movie.
Yeah, my name is Ilse Immelmann, and I want to know how many children do you have?
I have 2 girls and a boy.
Oh, a boy. I don't work with the males, because I used to be one.
Yikes.
Now, if they were to make that movie now, I'm not so sure that Sally Field would be allowed to have such a reaction.
I don't work with the males because they used to be one. Do you know how much we say that around here?
It's actually one of the phrases we use all the time. I don't know why. It just kind of stuck.
Because they used to be one.
So we had a society where it was completely understood and funny and laughable that Sally Field would not want a transgender to be babysitting her children. Okay? That was understood just 2 decades ago.
Okay, so now we're going to go to another aspect.
Less than 2 decades ago.
So we're talking about making your army as strong. Have you ever heard of Army Strong?
Army Strong.
So we were talking about this, and in Captain America,
if you haven't seen that movie, we'll have to give it
preface. They take this weak, puny little guy who was too tiny to get into the military.
And they denied him, and they denied him, and they denied him.
But he had a strong heart. So they picked him for this machine to turn a really weak dude into a really strong dude.
Now, the question here being...
Yeah.
I don't understand the idea of taking... Because are you going to cover the one military guy?
Which
or
one?
not? Well, one of the most outspoken people that has come out since yesterday is this Navy SEAL.
Oh,
or Marine.
Former Navy SEAL.
He was a guy, and he had a sex change, and he's still saying, I can't call him a she, I'm sorry. He's still saying that, I did this, and I'm still super strong. But what happens when you take a man, and you make him weaker, from a military standpoint...
That's the stupidest thing the military would ever do.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Is to take somebody who's strong and make them weaker. You just don't do it. You don't do it.
We were talking about, okay, you know what, in all honesty, if there are women out there that want, that's the thing, the military doesn't even pay for like steroids and stuff like that
And
for
testosterone
women that just
shots.
want to be stronger
Right.
as women.
Right.
So why would it pay for them to have that if they just wanted to change?
Well, you can't take steroids like 2 months or something before you enter the military. You're not allowed to have steroids in the military period.
Right.
So the idea that you're going to give hormones and testosterone to women, it's unfair to other people who aren't allowed to take these.
So
kind of
as we
drugs.
play this, imagine that it's going in reverse. We can't play the movie backwards. You have the big strong guy.
Right.
And then they reverse and turn him back into tiny little puny.
But what made me laugh about this and think about this was that this is what, this is a change.
Yes.
This is a change from somebody who really wanted to be in a big body, in a strong body. But
He was a big man trapped in a little body.
But he recognized that he was a little guy.
Yep.
And he wanted to be bigger. And the military had a weapon to make him bigger and stronger, but they would have never taken a big strong dude and made him weaker. Okay.
You hear me? Sit down.
Just if you guys
Ladies and
care,
gentlemen,
this is
today
one of our favorite
we take
movies.
not another step
They
towards
know a little bit more about
annihilation,
us.
but the first step on the path to peace. We begin with a series of micro-injections into the subject's major muscles.
So imagine you're taking the muscle groups out.
Right.
That's what you're doing to
Immediate cellular change.
the, transgenderized
Then,
males.
to stimulate growth
Leah pointed
The
out
subject
though,
will be
they
saturated
shouldn't have put a belt
with vital rays.
on a puny guy, or they were gonna make
It made no
huge.
sense.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Dangerous. You could just-
Yeah. So we're just gonna get to the end here.
Shut it down! Shut it down!
Kill the reactor, Mr. Stark! Send it over! Kill it! Kill the reactor! No! No! I can do this!
Sorry, it makes me laugh every time.
It's so cheesy.
It's so cheesy, but that's what makes it great. Everybody wants the underdog to be strong. Nobody ever roots for the big guy to be the underdog and get beat. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So imagine we've just put this big, strong guy in this machine,
And it came
and he
out
comes
looking
out
like a
puny,
woman.
and then you just
he
go,
came out like a tiny woman.
well done, that was very strong of you to do that. And now we want you in the military because you just made this weaker change.
So I can see the military paying to make.
I can
people
see the
stronger.
military paying for this.
To make people stronger.
Yes.
But not to make people weaker. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought that was hilarious to me.
I think it's fantastic.
But I wanted to show you that not everyone thinks that Trump's transgender ban is that awesome. Like celebrities are just going crazy. People are holding
their
little
minds.
riots.
But I want to go back to, because this is a point worth making for a second time. The military is not an all-inclusive club where everybody gets a trophy and everybody gets a ribbon and everybody gets a star and everybody gets a spot and we find a place for you because we feel bad that you want to serve for America.
Right,
That's
so
not what it
Zuckerberg
is.
tweets out, everyone should be able to serve their country no matter who they are. And that's just not true.
No.
That's not how we don't like, oh, you want to serve? We'll find a place for you.
That's not what the military
We're
does.
gonna put you behind the desk, or where would you like to be? You wanna be a cook? You wanna be a dietitian? What do you want to be when the guy Sundar Pichai of Google. I'm grateful to the transgender members of our military. Let them serve. Tim Cook of Voices Opposition. We are indebted to all who serve. Discrimination against anyone holds everyone back. So here's the thing. When you're discriminating against somebody who has diabetes,
Right.
is that a problem? Because you never tweeted out against people who had diabetes before.
So, and
What
actually
about
to
a person
me,
who's missing a leg, person who's
it
missing
does a
liver?
great disservice. All of these people have no feelings for all the guys out there that didn't join the military because they only have one testicle.
Trans
No
kids,
feelings. They don't care. They didn't tweet out everybody should be allowed in there.
No.
No, they did not.
Trans kids, soldiers, etc. need our support today and know they are valued and respected regardless of politics. We don't. What is respected have to do with somebody who has diabetes, who can't be in the
Exactly.
military? What does discrimination have to do with somebody who has a severe ingrown toenail? That's one of them, dude.
They had Crohn's disease on there.
Yeah, inflammatory bowel disease. There's a lot of things that people have wrong. Now, obviously, the military has waivers, and not everybody is like super duper healthy.
Right. However, when you have a serious issue, and I don't know, I don't care who you are, you have to admit that if you are trapped in the wrong body, that is a serious.
It doesn't get much more serious.
It does not get much more serious than that.
If I had an alien stuck in my body, and how do you know? If I were to say that I had alien in my body, how would you know that I didn't?
Right.
How would you know? And what if I need alien reassignment surgery?
Yeah.
And you'd have to pay for it, and you'd have to find a way to get me inside an alien body. You know.
No, to turn your body into an alien body.
Well, they are doing that. Have you seen that lately?
Yeah. Here's the thing, you guys. The military is not something that you get to join just so they pay for your medical bills.
No,
that's just not. That's not what it does.
It's not all equal, and this whole everybody gets a ribbon thing is just, it's too much for me. No, everybody does not get a ribbon. Everybody does not get the
not everybody gets to be in the Major League Baseball. Not everybody gets to be in the NFL. There are, listen.
Not everybody gets to be in the CIA and the FBI. You know you have to have both livers and you can't wear glasses to be in the FBI. So you can't even be in the FBI if you're wearing glasses. Isn't that discriminatory? You gotta have both kidneys. Isn't that? Why are people clamoring there? That's discrimination.
Exactly.
So it just, obviously, you guys, it doesn't make sense. And I know that anybody who's for this is going by their feelings, rather than by the facts and what makes people military ready.
Right.
Now,
military worthy.
And so, on the end of this, what spurred this on was the House actually was going to put forth a bill making it so that the military wouldn't be allowed to pay for any transgender reassignments, and I guess the White House got word of it and was like, Trump talked to his leaders and he was like, no, we're not going to do this, and it makes perfect sense. And Michelle actually almost got a call into Nigel Farage yesterday over it, but she lost the phone number and she got a call in too late, or she would have been through. So
yeah, it's really funny.
Hey Michelle, you called
they must keep names and numbers, because from what I've called him before, because she answered it. Hello, Michelle.
Calling from Cincinnati.
Yes. So I go back and watch the show that Nigel did yesterday on it. I think Orion Prime probably has it posted. They always do. So you guys, here's the thing.
We could talk about this all day. I know
Obama, back right before he left back in October
in 2016,
had kind of overturned the standing precedents that you don't allow transgenders in the military.
And then he set into place, that was supposed to come into place in July, new things that would allow transgenders greater transgenderism and medical reassignment, and they've already gotten it in. One military guy would say it's really demoralizing to the guys in the military to have to go through these gender social study things, and you don't want to be on the middle of the battlefield in Iraq and thinking to yourself,
I don't want to offend that guy or that girl or whatever she is.
To call him this, that. What am I going to do with this? And you know,
the military is. Lee and I were on a dog walk today, and I was saying the military is one of those things that it is very cut and dry.
Right.
Okay, they run, I mean, have you guys ever seen them stretch the sheets out and then you got to bounce the quarter on it? I mean, everything with the military is supposed to be perfect. Right. All right, and those are the standards that the U.S. military sets, and so unfortunately, for those of you out there that are suffering from transgender issues, you don't qualify just like the person with Crohn's disease or diabetes doesn't qualify.
And people want to say, I don't have a medical issue, but why do you need surgery? Why do you need hormones? It's a medical issue.
Exactly.
And it could be mental and it can be physical.
Right, anybody that's denying that I can't have a conversation about it with you, because this is, to me, it goes without saying. So we're going to leave this for you guys to hash out in the comment section. I'm sure that you will. Thank you for joining us at Resistance Chicks. This is Leah and Michelle signing off, where it is not just a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Like this video, comment on it, share it on your social media pages. We're on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on VidMe, we are on Isaiah 58 Ministries, blogspot.com. You know, we're everywhere. Find us. We love you guys. God loves you. God bless.
Cold, all alone, no place for home, every day, so afraid, but you call my name.